Hi, I'm David from ePianos and Whitley Bay Organs, and today I've got a beauty for you. This is a Ringway Maestro. It's the top of the range, and unlike the lower models that are a bit more modern with a grey and black image, this has got the nice cabinet version, and it's all inside there. Look, now we've got lights. We can have it on dim or bright, and we've got a big pedal board, only about 2 octaves of bass pedals down the bottom here. We've even got 2 pedals. One can be used for effects. We've got 16 pistons to click on to change our sounds. We've got a USB stick here with extra voices registrations on, and it's handbook with all of its information in there. Well, we can help you with that anyway. You've got some built-in small speakers at the top here, and then we've got all our voice sections, and they're very typically laid out on an organ. You've got your upper 1 and 2, and then you've got your lead voices 1 and 2, and then your lower voices and your pedal voices, and then all the rhythm stuff tucked over this side. And we can go into the memory stick and load things in. There's even a demo area where it's got all the typical sounds that you might use if you were like me demonstrating in the shop. So if we go to the demo button, demo reg, we get a list on the screen, and we can go through this list and choose on the screen from what we want. So if we wanted to play large strings, let's go load, and that now gives us a large string sound. It's good sound, isn't it? Let's try another one. Let's go to brass ensemble, load that one in. A really big sound. I mean, it's the top of the range. It's the top range model with all the best sounds and the best speakers. So we would expect it to be good, but all the same, it is good. Let's try something else. Let's go to orchestra and chorus. Let's load that one in. So as we can see, very, very big sounds. Now what I want to show you today is just how easy it is for you to make your own sounds. Now there are lots of sounds registrations to just set it all up just like this, just to go into, scroll through and select. But if we want to make our own sounds, we've got to think a little bit about where they're coming from. So I've put into number 1 here, a theatre setting. Okay, and if we go into the main screen, we can see we've got theatre organ set up in the section here, theatre organ 5. Let's have a listen. In the lower keyboard, I've got a nice soft sound, and then in the pedals, nice big rich pedal sound. Now then, what we can do is we can tweak those. So I've put into number 1 that setting, and if we just try it, let's put a rhythm on with it. We'll go synchro start with the intro. Okay, finally finished. So that's one sound that I've put in. I've used the world rhythm to go, which is Showtime, and that goes quite nicely with the theatre sounds. But if we want to change the sounds, I've got 1 turned on for the upper keyboard, and the way you know that is all the others have got volume 0 look. So in this keyboard 1, I've got volume 0. In lead 1, I've got volume 0. and in lead 2. So that only leaves the one section turned on, which is upper keyboard volume 2. And I've currently got the theatre page turned on. So I press the theatre, and on the screen I can see I've got 8 different theatre organs. Just go in again and we'll show you. We're on page 1 at the moment, look, and I've got 8 to choose from. If I go to the next page, I've got another 8. If I go to the next page, I've got 8 soft tibia sounds. Then I've got another 8 soft tibia sounds. And then I've got all the instruments that mix together to make really good theatre organ sound. So this is a new button on this organ, theatre, and we've got it in each section so we can bring in typical theatre sound. So if we go to page 1, button of 7, and just get an idea of how nice they actually are. So theatre organ 1, we just touch these 2 buttons for the top one, these 2 for the bottom one, and then these 2 for the top, these 2. So it's not a touch screen, but we can just see exactly where we are from the buttons down the side and the double buttons underneath, the top row and the bottom row. It's very much like a Tyros. Yamaha Tyros was very similar. So theatre organ 1, let's have a listen. Theatre organ number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Five. Really big full sounds. Number 6. Number 8. So we've only gone through the first 8 theatre organ sounds. If I go to page 2 now, we've got another 8. So they're all really good sounds, aren't they? Let's go to the next page, and we've got tibias, which are a little bit smoother and softer. So they're all beautiful sounds, but they're all individual. Now what we can do is we can mix 2 together. So if we really like on that first page, let's go back to the theatre one on the first one. A nice soft but full sound. We can mix with it something from one of the other sections. So I'm going to add the volume to the first one now. So I've got 2 sections turned on, and in this theatre button I'm going to choose a different sound to mix with this soft organ sound. So let's go to one of those that had the glockenspiel in. So I've now got my first sound, which is the soft one. I'll turn the volume down and listen to the second sound. And I'm going to mix them together now. And I can get the balance right. So I get a nice combination of the 2 sounds. Now I've even got 2 more settings I can add to make extra effects on that sound, but 2's often enough, 2 voices together. So I've made my new sound. The first one was in button 1. I'm going to change the lower keyboard now to go with that sound. So I've got a little bit brighter sound. This is my left hand. If I go to my left hand voices, which are over here, theatre. This is my Vox sound I've got at the moment, and I can again change between different sounds. So let's go to the theatre. They're all very different. And sometimes the soft, smooth ones are nice. That's quite nice because I can play the two together. If I go to one of the constant sounds, I can play and hold a note down. A bit more volume. So what I'm doing, I'm anchoring the bottom note so it stays on with my pedal. Now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to make my bass pedal a different sound. So we've done the upper sound, we've done the lower keyboard sound. Now I'm going to go to my bass pedal, and the pedals are over here. Look, this is my pedal voice with some volume on. So I've got an all button. I can use one of the presets, or I can find my sound. So contrabass, electric bass, organ bass, tuba, timpani. But if I go to all, I can then choose a sound, and I can go back to the theatre sounds that we were using and put them in the bass pedals. They sound different because they're much lower down. Okay, so there's one. So I'm going to save that now, and all I do is I press the memory button and I press number 2. And that's now locked it into this button. So I've got my first setting, number 2, so I can keep making up my sounds and bring them up to the other buttons. Now in number 5 I've set up a brass band sound. So I've got a bass sound down there. I've got a bass sound, a brass sound in my left hand, and a brass sound up here. We could go, what could play? Now let's change some of the sounds on this. We've got the upper sound. I'm going to bring it a bit higher. Now I can either change the octave or I can make it a different sound. So we're currently using this section only for my sound. So I could add to it or I could change it. If I add to it a solo trumpet, let's go up here and bring in this section. I've got a trumpet in there. I could also change the voice that I'm in. So let's go into there, and these are all my choices. Look, trombones. I like that, that's good. My left hand, let's have a listen. Let's add another sound to the second one. So we'll go into the second voice section and we'll add some more brass. So there's brass. No, it's not as good as I want it to be. Let's get the volumes right. I'm just going to try and find a better bass sound. So I've got a tuba set at the moment. If I go into all, I can go into one of those other instruments that are in the choice, the whole choice that I can go through. So let's try a trombone down there. Now something else I can do is all the voices can be changed to different pitches. So if we go to the sound of the brass just here, We've got a trombone. I'll turn the other one down for a sec. So we're in this one here, brass. We can actually press the button again and it will go to which foot we want to be. So we can change it to suit the sound that we want to create. That's nice. Okay, so let's bring them back in. Lower volume down slightly. If we add a rhythm to that, let's see what the world section is going to give us in the rhythm section. Let's have a look. That's showtime. Let's find a rhythm that will go well with that. March 2/4. Okay, so I'm going to put the automatics on so I haven't got to worry about the pedals. Synchro start, intro. Ending. It's a great sound, isn't it? So this is the Maestro. It's the top of the Ringway range, and by buying it second hand you'll almost half the price if it would be new, and it's still a current model, so it's very, very good value. The thing to remember is it's very easy to make these changes, and all we do is we memorize what we've made into the next button along. So that sound I've just made, I'm going to put that into number 6, and if I want to store that I can literally go into the save mode in the registration area and store it in, so it becomes one of my batches of 16, and you can make hundreds of batches of 16 and store them in either into the instrument itself or onto a USB memory stick to give you the chance to keep it somewhere else and take it to other organs too. So very, very versatile organ, fantastic theatre sounds, and the ones I've shown you, the brass, are also really, really good. This is the Ringway Maestro ePianos and Whitley Bay Organs. Thanks for watching.